Dr. Sella here. And the heavy formation is when you bring the tackle over, put the receiver in as the backside tackle, and split the other receiver out wide with his inside foot on the numbers. This receiver's in a 3-point stance. Now, could you bring in anybody with an eligible jersey number here from the sideline and take the receiver out? Yeah, sure, no problem. You could do that too. The heavy formation is an unbalanced formation because what happens is he's eligible, and so is the backfield, obviously, because you have to have 7 on the line of scrimmage. But what happens now is this guy becomes a center, but the left guard becomes a snapper. Now, you don't have to do that, but as soon as you flip the tackle over, you don't have to change it where your snapper remains a snapper. However, the middle and eligible is this guy right here. That's what makes it unbalanced. Okay, we've established that. Why the heavy formations utilize basically is to see how people adjust, because you're going to put 6.5 guys on one side and 4.5 on the other side. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, because the ball's right here. So you got 4.5 on one side, 6.5 on the other side. So the defense has to match your numbers. Otherwise, you have an advantage one way or another, and then you run to the numbers. Run to the numbers. Run to the numbers. Paul Johnson said, run to the numbers. Don't worry about the angles. Don't worry about the field. It's wherever the numbers are gives you your highest probability of success. So, when you align in heavy, and if for the entire season, people are going to align with 5.5 or 6 to the heavy side, you will run to that side 100% of the time. Don't worry about being predictable. The defense didn't do anything about it. You have a numbers advantage. Always take advantage of the numbers when you go heavy. Now, I get clients that they get a little nervous about that. Well, we can't just keep running to the heavy side. Yes, you can, because Air Force would do it. Paul Johnson did it. It's real simple. You have 6.5 on one side, 4.5 on the other side. If they put 6 over here, 5.5 over here, you're going to keep running there 100% of the time. Who cares if they know what's coming? You just keep doing it. So, during a game, if you go heavy and you run zone dive and they have 6 on one side, 5 on the other side, you'll keep running to the heavy side. Who cares about your predictability? The defense didn't do anything about your predictability. They might know where the ball's going, but they didn't do anything about it. Oh, but they know where we're going. Who the heck cares? Paul Johnson said you always run to the numbers. Numbers dictate the truth, whether or not they're going to do something about it. You ever hang around with someone and all they do is complain, but they don't do anything about the problem that they have? Well, that's what this is. When you go to heavy and they don't adjust numbers and they don't put 6.5 to where your 6.5 is, you keep running to the 6.5. Now, and this doesn't happen much in high school at all, but let's say, for example, they actually bring somebody over from the heavy side and they've now matched your numbers. They have 4.5 on one side, 6.5 on the other side. So what I did here is I drew up so you could see where they have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. You have the free safety. It's on the ball, so half his body's on one side, half his body's on the other side. That's half. 4.5. Now is when you may run to the numbers. The best play to the nub, excuse me. The best play to run to the nub always and forever will be toss. Because when you toss the ball, what ends up happening is they're one miss away from it being over. Plus, when you run the toss, you've got 3 people pulling wide. Remember, the ball's getting tossed here, so he can't impact the play. So you got 3 people blocking him. So basically, once you get this guy canceled, they're pretty much screwed. That's what makes it so effective. Like, if you don't know what to run on a heavy to the nub side, you run toss. Because a lot of the other stuff gets so technical, like you can't really run zone dive there. You can, but you need some defensive cooperation. Some of the other stuff is just tougher to do. But regardless, plus then you got to teach this guy a lot of different things as well. The toss is something you don't have to teach. Like if they just don't match numbers or they put, I don't know if I've ever seen this happen where they put 7 on this side and 4 on this side. I might have had a client or two where that's happened, but I personally have never had that happen. Then you'd want to toss the ball to that side. And who cares about, oh, they know what's coming? Who cares? Who cares? You're going to have an advantage. Because to the nub side, if this guy gets his right knee through his crotch and the ball goes there, they're screwed. So that's just how it works. That's the heavy formation. The only time you ever run to the nub is if they match your numbers. Then you may run to the nub. Otherwise, you'll run to the heavy side 100% of the time. Because you always run to the numbers. Coaches, you want to win more games in 2023, pick up the phone and give me a call. My number's on the thumbnail of this video, and so is my website, and we'll talk soon.